Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. So many people are now abandoning the BBC licence that it's starting to hurt them. And in respect to this, Lisa Nandy, the brain box that runs government because she's so bright, has had a brilliant idea. She's going to scrap the BBC licence. Hooray, I hear lots of people say, but not so fast. Instead, she says the BBC is going to be funded by tax. You're going to pay for the BBC whether you consume it or not. At the moment, people who don't watch television don't have to pay a TV licence. Now, if you don't want to watch television, you have to pay TV tax regardless. It's still coming from the taxpayer. Why should we be taxed for something we have no interest in or don't want to use? If the BBC thinks it's so good, let it stand on its own. Let it pretend to be a big boy television company, put on its big pants and go out and offer its services to the public and see if the public are willing to pay to watch it. You know, give it a subscription model. Say, look, pay the subscription and watch the BBC and see how far you go. Let me tell you, no one would pay to watch it. Sure, there'll be a few freaks, but generally nobody, because it's full of shite. It's repeat after repeat after repeat. It's woke versus, left-wing liberal bias. Its news is tainted. What does it actually offer? Very little, and certainly very little value for money. If it's going to be taxed, then that means, of course, it becomes a tool of the government. I mean, it already is, but it's under the illusion of independence. But once it's taxed, it becomes government TV. And that means it will always have to obey what the government want. Even more bias. Fine, but we need to publish then the salaries of every single person who works there. After all, it's public money going in. And of course, we get to say what is being watched. And if it is then taxed and belongs to the people, that means that every single show on there should be made available free of charge to everyone in Britain. Every single show they've ever made. After all, we own it. But that won't happen. No. It'll still be held as a private company for BBC Worldwide Services to go and sell and make money on. Surely they should be using that money to run the BBC. They don't need our money. As I say, they keep thinking how great they are. Lisa Nandy, the genius, reported last night that the money to fund programmes would instead come from taxes. And her words, and this is her words, there'd be an honest national conversation about the broadcaster's long-term future. Lisa Nandy and the word honest in the same sentence. I don't believe it either. There is no way there's going to be an honest conversation. If you want an honest conversation, Lisa Nandy, say to the BBC, go on, off you go. Let the people decide if they want to watch you or not. Let the people decide whether we need a national broadcaster. Because the people don't. That's why over 500,000 people last year gave up their licence. The BBC is actually running out of money. They are actually going to the government and begging for money. They are losing billions. When I say 500 million last year, half a million people last year, that's on top of the 500,000 the year before, and the 400,000 the year before, and the 275,000 the year before that. There are actually, in total, 3 million fewer households buying a TV licence than there were 5 years ago. And they can't afford it. The BBC can't take the loss. But then you keep paying all these stars millions of pounds a year. What do you expect? So tell the BBC to go and grow up. Let them off. Why tax people? Why do the BBC think they have an absolute God-given right to exist? They don't. Subscription or die. Or sell adverts. Go. Either way, we don't need it. It's not the 1930s anymore. People take their television in different ways. One way is we don't watch television. Do you know that nobody effectively watches television anymore? If in terms of percentage, most consumption now is internet. More people watch YouTube than ITV. More people watch YouTube than BBC. More people watch YouTube than just about any other form of television. We don't need the BBC. Let them go. But don't lie to me, Lisa Nandy, that there's going to be an honest conversation. You know, and I know there isn't. Thanks a lot. Bye.